A crime that seems to be appearing more and more is one that involves a car or vehicle. Every so often you see a headline that someone plowed into a crowd of people. What is causing this spike of using a vehicle as a weapon? Let's take a look. Using a vehicle in a crime is a relatively new phenomenon. The first person to be struck by a car and pass away was Henry H. Bliss, which occurred near Central Park in 1899. Although this incident appears to have been an accident, it was a warning of the danger vehicles posed. Over the next 123 years, cars would become faster and more numerous. A car from 1899 and a car from 2022 hardly look the same. In 1920, there were 7.5 million cars on the road in the United States. 100 years later, there are 276 million. This could only mean more people will lose their life. The definition of vehicular homicide varies from state to state. However, the Cornell Law School defines it as the unlawful or negligent operation of a motor vehicle that results in the death of another person. In the United States v. Fleming, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled that vehicular homicide can be non-purposeful and still result in murder. Typically, for a murder charge, you must have intent. A person who kills large amounts of people with vehicles are known as Rampage Killers. An attack in New York City in 2017 killed 8 people when they were struck by a vehicle. Sayfullah Saipov is awaiting trial and possibly facing the death penalty. Another prominent incident occurred in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Daryl Brooks is accused of driving his vehicle through the annual Christmas parade. 6 people were killed and 62 were injured. He is also awaiting trial. While rampage killings happen, they are far less occurring than other types of vehicular homicide. Possibly the most common is DUI related. It is much more common to turn on the news and hear that someone that was drinking and driving was involved in an accident resulting in someone's death. To counter this, law enforcement sets up DUI checkpoints to check for drunk drivers on the road. A major DUI case you may recall was Ethan Couch, or the Affluenza case. In 2013, an SUV he was driving crashed into a disabled car, killing 4 and injuring 9. Couch was charged with 4 counts of intoxication manslaughter because he was driving under the influence of alcohol. He was subsequently found guilty and sentenced to 10 years of probation, causing an outrage in the country. Couch's attorney argued that he suffered from affluenza due to his parents failing to set boundaries. Couch would later serve 2 years in jail due to probation violations. Other reasons that could bring a charge involving vehicular homicide include texting and driving, reckless driving, and speeding. The victims in these cases can be pedestrians or other motorists. In 2018, Alyssa Shepard was charged with 3 counts of reckless homicide after failing to stop at a school bus arm. Instead of patiently waiting for kids to get on the bus, she went around when the kids were walking across the street. Because she disregarded the stop sign, she was acting in a reckless manner, causing her to be charged. In 2019, she was sentenced to 4 years in prison, with her driver's license being suspended for 10. During the sentencing, the mother of the slain children lunged at Shepard and had to be removed from the courtroom. Shepard was released after serving 2 years in jail. Road rage can also lead to situations where someone dies on the roadway. We have all likely seen the road rage videos that seem to be very scary situations. Also noted earlier, an angry person with a car can be very dangerous. A road rage incident in June 2022 left 2 teenagers dead. In August 2022, Roger Wilson was arrested for 2 counts of murder, aggravated battery, and unlawful taking of a motor vehicle. It was alleged that he ran the pair off the road, causing them to crash. He also crashed in the stolen car he was driving and left the scene. It appears Wilson has a history of anger issues and was on probation for auto burglaries at the time. Also noted earlier, an angry person with a car can be very dangerous. Sometimes after an accident, the driver leaves the scene. If this causes death, then in some sense it is charged as if the driver was being reckless. People who leave the scene are many times drunk or don't have a driver's license. Laws vary wildly from state to state as to what charges can be brought in under what circumstances. Also, the verbiage can vary. Some states call vehicular manslaughter or reckless homicide. Sentences also have a broad range from a few days in jail with probation to, in rare cases, life in prison. As you can see, there are many circumstances as to what sentence the offender receives. Safety mechanisms in cars have also improved greatly. The first cars had no safety devices. Seatbelts were introduced in cars in the late 1950s. Many states now have mandatory seatbelt laws. Children also have to be in a car seat. Newer cars also have full interior airbags that have saved many lives. On a final note, in 2020, 42,915 people died in automobile accidents in the United States. In many years, it is the leading cause of death in children and young adults. Automobiles have given mankind the ability to move long distances in a relatively short amount of time. They have also caused tens of thousands of deaths each year. I guess this is the price we pay for convenience. If you enjoyed my content, please like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.